Your president, Donald Trump, is a stupid ass, no good for nothing ass, barbaric, idiotic, bigoted, homophobic, xenophobic, dumbass, country ass, incompetent ass. What is up, you guys? Zora here. Welcome to my channel if you haven't been here before. If you have, welcome back. Today I'm going to be introducing a new segment on my channel, and it's going to be referred to as breaking the table. So what does that mean? It's going to be quick. If you've heard Solange's album, A Seat at the Table, the metaphorical table that she's talking about is opportunities and access to those opportunities that one may or may not have as a result of their place in society that systematically oppresses African American people and other minorities. What I mean by a seat at the table or breaking the table is basically this segment will consist of everything race, class, sex, gender, anything political, anything that has to do with one who may be in a position of oppression and they have to make a decision on, do I react the way that I want to react in a situation where someone disrespects me or is rude or does something that deserves a reaction, or do I have to step back and acknowledge that I, as an African American or whatever minority group you identify as, I, as this person in this specific minority group, am fighting for a position at this metaphorical table and fighting for this opportunity in this space. And so I have to put, in my case, I might have to put my blackness to the back seat so that I don't act a way that will allow me to be perceived negatively, even in a situation where I may have been in the right. So this subgroup on my channel specifically devoted to all things, like I said previously, race, class, sex, gender. And it's going to contain stories, it's going to contain real life experiences, it's going to contain current political topics, all of which one may find themselves either knowledgeable about. If you're not, I will help you. I mean, I definitely don't know everything, but shoot, I went to school for 3.5 years and I have a piece of paper that says I can read and write, and I have a fundamental understanding of politics. So, you know, like I said, it's gonna be a fun topic for me. I'm a nerd at heart. Do y'all like my shirt? Do y'all like my shirt? It says, Trump, we shall overcome. And you know what that means? Guess what we're talking about today? The fool himself, your president, your, what do they call him, 45? We're talking about 45 today. Unless you've been living under some kind of rock or you've been without technology for the past couple of days, I'm sure that you've heard about your president's most egregious action, or most egregiously known action as of recently, and that would be his sudden transgender ban of all transgendered individuals in the military. And you know, I know we live in a space now where if you don't have receipts, apparently it didn't happen. So the receipts, the receipts will be somewhere over here or over here. I don't know, they'll be up. So let's start, because I don't want to misquote. I can't have y'all coming for me in the comments like I just made this up, because I didn't. Your president tweeted this, and he said, and I quote, here we go. This is from the Donald J. Trump. After consultation with my generals and military experts, please be advised that the United States government will not accept or allow ... transgender individuals to serve in any capacity in the U.S. military. Our military must be focused on decisive and overwhelming ... victory, and cannot be burdened with the tremendous medical costs and disruption that transgender in the military would entail. Thank you. Let's pause here with the fact that your president thought it would be appropriate and deemed it necessary to tweet a ban, as though him saying this on Twitter would make it official. I mean, I don't know what it is. I feel as though every time, and I try to stay away from the news because I'm not going to say, oh, it's fake news like Donald Trump. That's not the case. I think that media outlets are not doing their job at informing the people on the truth and the reality of what one should really know. And it is our responsibility as people who have some sort of platform in general. If you have knowledge of what is the outright truth and you have knowledge of lies that are being spread, it's your responsibility to share and educate and, you know, bring the truth to light. And I don't think that media outlets do that. That's another rant for another time. But these tweets, I mean, I honestly, when I saw this, I thought it was a joke. If you want me to be honest, I really thought it was a joke. I thought it were fake tweets because I said to myself, he would not really tweet this. He would not really, from his account, tweet this. But why not? He said all kinds of other crazy stuff before. Why wouldn't he say it? I mean, I was stupid for thinking that this was fake. And regardless of whether you yourself personally agree with one making the decision to live their life as a transgender individual, that is not even up for debate, because people who do and don't believe, that's something that's not going to be agreed upon. You know, there's no middle ground when it comes to somebody's lifestyle, and it's not yours. You really should have no opinion on it, period. But as far as this goes, if we want to break down this tweet, what stands out to me is our military must be focused on decisive and overwhelming victory and cannot be burdened with the tremendous medical cost and disruption that transgender in the military would entail. Other than that being a poorly structured sentence, transgender people are not a burden. They're not a burden to my everyday societal life. If anything, Donald Trump's stupid ass is more of a burden to me than they ever would be. I mean, I am living in a world where I just graduated from school with a political science degree that I spent 3.5 years getting, and an unqualified celebrity is in the office of president. It is a weird space for me to be in as a political scientist when I live in a country where my president, not mine, your president, is a joke. It's ridiculous. I can't even understand what's going on. I literally feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. If I think about this stuff too much, I will get sick to my stomach, because it's crazy that someone like him is even in office. But when you think about him calling transgender individuals a burden with no factual statistical background or even defense, he pulled this out of his ass. He pulled this statement out of his ass. He is introducing once again just what kind of bigoted human being that he is, and what kind of beliefs that he holds near and true to his heart. And so, you know, we're going to combat that with receipts, because that's what, apparently if you don't have receipts, nothing happened anymore. So let me give you a quick little statistic, right? This is from a Rand Corporation study. Google saves lives. If y'all don't believe me, Google it. You can find it. So let me just preface this by saying and elaborating on the fact that the Pentagon has not even released data on the number of transgender people who are in the military. So that should let one know that the number isn't even high enough for them to be deemed as a significant burden to the military if the Pentagon does not have an exact number to release on them. That's first and foremost. A Rand Corporation study estimated the number at between 1,320 and 6,630 out of 1.3 million active duty military troops as being transgender. Did y'all hear me? 1,320. That's the low point. Between 1,320 and 6,630. Those are supposed to be, that's the range of the number of individuals in the military, which has 1.3 million people in it that are supposed to be transgendered individuals. As I said before, there's no specific number. If you do that math, and I'm not going to do the math on the spot, but let's say I did it in my brain. 1,000 and some change of 1.3. I'm going to take a bet that that is 0.07% of the military budget going towards that. I'm also going to bet that military budget goes towards a lot of other things that might be deemed as more of burdens than transgender medical expenses, or medical expenses that someone who is looking to transition may acquire and would be covered by the military. Because, oh, we got another statistic. Military spends about $84 million annually on erectile dysfunction treatments. Erectile dysfunction treatments, what does that mean? Like I said, Google saves lives, but I'll save you the time. Men, if you have problems and you have difficulty sustaining stature, you might be able to join the military, and maybe you'll be able to get your banana fixed. Well, this is actually a plantain, but you get the message. You might be able to get that, and you won't be deemed as a burden to society. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, I swear every day I hear something new, and like I said, I work in politics, so I interact with people on a regular basis, and I have interactions with people who are affected by these decisions on a regular basis, and even the feedback that I'm getting from them is letting me know that a lot of people aren't agreeing. Unfortunately, a lot of people are, though. And that's one thing that I can't understand. I can rationalize you being a Republican. I really can. I can rationalize it. I can understand. I live in the suburbs. You think I'm not around Republicans? I am all the time. You think I don't have friends who are conservative and their parents are Republican? A lot of people, it's my belief, honestly, that a lot of people don't like to talk about their political beliefs because they don't feel comfortable enough in what they claim to know and claim to believe to discuss it, because they don't really know why they believe what they believe. A lot of people, not just in this area, in life, a lot of people, when it comes to politics, oh, I'm a Republican, my parents are Republicans. That's why they feel like it's important for them to be Republicans. And of course, your family values and all that kind of stuff, your frame and your scope, your worldview shapes how you view things. It shapes how you view people. And I'm not even going to get into the discussion of, you know, why I wouldn't be a Republican and why I am what I am. But what I can say is I can rationalize being a Republican. I can understand how that might be what's best for some people, and that's great. We are in America. They tell us we're free, so we should be free to believe whatever we want to believe. So you could do that. But what I can't rationalize is one being a Trump supporter. I cannot rationalize it. I can't rationalize someone who claims that they themselves do not hold racist, bigoted, xenophobic, homophobic, sexist, and a whole plethora of other terrible beliefs themselves to the core. I can't understand how someone will claim that they don't believe all of these things, yet they support and voted for someone who does. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. It doesn't make sense at all. And I'm not gonna be quiet about it because individuals who I know may find themselves in that bracket. That's not right. If you yourself, you say that you don't believe in these things, why is nobody speaking up? You know, why are people silent? Apathy, to me, when you're apathetic in situations like this and you don't say anything about it and you just kind of, oh, well, it's not applying to me, so it doesn't really matter. Do you think this is just like all he's gonna say? This is the most outlandish thing. This is the tip on the iceberg. First, he's starting with banning transgender individuals in the military. You think it's going to stop there? What's next? He will take women out of combat roles. I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg of things that this man has illustrated through his previous actions that he's willing to do. Granted, he's not really doing anything, because remind you, this ban was put out through tweets. But my point is, if you don't believe with what this man is doing, who you may have voted for whatever reason, those are your own, I don't really care. If you don't agree, speak up about it. Speak out. Be authentic to your beliefs. And, you know, a lot of people use the excuse, well, I only voted for Trump because Hillary was worse. I'm not even going to get into that discussion because that's a whole nother video topic. But I just feel like if you were somebody who says that they're a good-hearted individual, where do you draw the line? Where does your personal responsibility come in to stand up for what you know is right and what you know is wrong? And these tweets, those are wrong. Those kind of beliefs, you can have your own beliefs. But I think what Donald Trump has done and is continuing to do is making people comfortable in their bigotry. Because I tell you, it's no doubt, he found something that is controversial across all lines. It doesn't matter if you're African American, Asian, white, Indian, it doesn't matter. People of all different cultures and backgrounds, even though it shouldn't be this way, a lot of people, regardless of their background, have issues with transgender individuals. And so he was able to find one thing that could universally divide multiple different other minority groups and attack it. And now people are just supposed to turn the other cheek because it doesn't pertain to them. Well, I'm not transgendered, and I don't know anyone who is transgendered, so it's really not even that bad. And, you know, he's just tweeting it anyway. It starts with tweets. You know, people don't take things seriously. That's how we're in this situation to begin with. Nobody thought this bald-faced man would win. Nobody thought this toupee-wearing, pale-faced, scamming man would win presidency. No one took it seriously, but it happened. And that's the situation we're in now. It's just sad. It's sad. And it's disgusting to me that so many people are apathetic about this. It's disgusting to me that so many people are letting their inward bigotry now come outward, and they're showing the true intentions and desires of their heart with what they say, how they treat others, the things that they post on social media. Because, you know, nowadays everyone thinks they're a political analyst. That's the truth. The things they post, the things that they share, they'll do all of this over social media, but if you ask them why they believe what they believe, they don't have an answer. Oh, I don't discuss politics. But you kind of do. You discuss it every time that you like and you share an article, every time you retweet something, every time you do anything on any social platform. You are sharing a bit about yourself and a bit about your moral compass. So when I tell you that this sudden immersion of Donald Trump to the forefront of our lives, obviously because he's your president, and he has such a, I'm not going to say large following, but what he does is glamorized by the media. I think it's made people extremely comfortable in their bigotry. And I'll give you an example, okay? I'll give you two examples. The first example is going to pertain to this transgender ban. I saw this morning, actually. I saw this. I get on Facebook. I don't do it often. Every time I get on Facebook, I see some freaking idiot from a high school just talking about something ignorant. I'm just like, oh my gosh. So I get on and I see this guy, and he used to be, I thought he was so fine in high school. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. But until I saw what he said, and let me pull this up. So I don't want to misquote the young man, but it was a tragedy. So there was a New York Post article, and it says, man sentenced for stabbing date 119 times after learning she was trans. And this man's gonna quote this article on Facebook and say, he ain't do nothing wrong, LOL. She lied, so she died. Pause right there. Okay, because that's a level of ignorance. That's a level of inhumanity. That's a level of negativity that I don't even want to encompass. I don't even want to interact with. I don't even want to see that on my timeline, because I'm not going to willingly subject myself to ignorance like that. Like, you can believe whatever you want to believe. I'm not even going to get into the details about whether she was right or wrong for doing what she did, but I could definitely tell you that the consequence of lying shouldn't be death. It shouldn't be. And that it shouldn't be in that or in any situation. Who are you to take someone's life? But furthermore, who are you to say something this disgusting on a social media platform or anywhere, period, and just think that that's okay? And that's what Trumpism has done. It's not even a word. It should be. Because honestly, at this point, Donald Trump has made people so comfortable in their bigotry and their hatefulness that they feel like it's, why not say whatever I want to say? Why not? It's appropriate. I can do what I want. Donald Trump says and does what he wants. I feel like that's the perspective that people have now. I feel a way. If I feel a way about something, I should just be able to say whatever I feel. I should just be able to say it and no one can say anything to me because look, he said it and look where he got. But if you're living off the principles of this man, it's a problem. I mean, I interact with people on a daily basis where I am willingly going and speaking to people about things that pertain to politics. And I had an event that happened the other day where I was talking with a man and I said to him, basically, I'm speaking with people and I'm talking with them about voting. As soon as I said voting, this man slammed the door in my face. Well, pause. He yelled, "No!" Slammed the door in my face. I was like, whoa, what the heck? And proceeded to cuss me the heck out. Cuss me clean the heck out through the door. He said to me, "Get the off my property, you bitch." Just craziness. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I cried in the car. I did go and cry in the car because I was so taken aback. One, I've never been yelled at like that. I've never been cursed at like that. I'm 22 years old. I've never been in a situation where a stranger has cussed me out like that. A stranger who's who's older than my father. A stranger who, if they have a child, their child is probably going to be my age or a little bit older, give or take 2 to 3 years. I've never been cursed at like that by a grown man. And I don't want to make it a race thing, but I think race had a little bit to do with it. An older white man cussing me out for no reason. You cuss out a stranger for no reason? It's weird. It's bizarre. But like I said, Donald Trump has opened the door for people to be comfortable in their bigotry, comfortable in their hatefulness, comfortable in, and honestly being and doing whatever they want to do. And that's not a problem if you're on your own solo island, but when you're interacting with others, I think it's not too much to ask for human decency to be respected, for common courtesy to be reciprocated, and for overall negativity to not be a focal point and a mission of certain people's lives when they have interactions with certain people. It's unacceptable. And honestly, this recent stunt, because that's exactly what I think it is. Although Donald Trump is an idiot, he's not extremely stupid. He's a fool, don't get me wrong, but I think this whole transgender ban tweet thing was a distraction from the healthcare bill. Of course, how could it not be? Because he knew the media outlets would eat it up, and that's exactly what they did. I'm not saying it's right, because it's obviously not. Everything, you have to know how the government works to understand how this kind of stuff can happen. And you have to be able to make these connections for yourself. You know, it was a distraction. It was a disgusting one nonetheless. But, man, it is a tough, tough time to be an American in America. Especially if you are a nonconformist and you are not willing to forsake your individual beliefs for some that are just egregious. And I'm not gonna sit on this platform and because I wasn't even gonna say anything, to be honest. It's not even that I wasn't gonna say anything. I was gonna say something, but I was gonna say something later because I wanted something to be in place. I wanted a specific thing to happen. But once I saw this status thing on Facebook, I couldn't wait. I can't sit on this. You can't sit on, when you know something is not right, you need to speak up about it. You need to talk about it. And I couldn't sit on this. It's just terrible. It just let me know, because this came from an African-American man, the Facebook status. And it's like, wow, you could believe whatever you want to believe. Like I said, If you don't agree with someone's lifestyle, that's you. But there's a difference between not agreeing with someone's lifestyle and just being extremely inhumane, insensitive, and just disgusting with things that you say and the energy that you spread out onto others based upon your beliefs. It's unfortunate. But we are in an unfortunate time. Can't really say anything else than that. To wrap it all up, Donald Trump is a fool. That ban, I mean, it's not, you can't, first of all, you can't even ban things on Twitter. That's not how this works, Donald. That's not how it works. You don't get to just wake up one day and decide that I want to make something up, so I'm banning it on Twitter, and that's what it is. Especially when these so-called, your military personnel that you spoke with, they said that this never happened. They said they didn't agree with this. And why would they? Because they're a fool. But the point of this is, I don't know how many more days we have under this president, but under your president. But I'm counting down the days until I'm not even going to say I'm counting down the days until he's out, because honestly speaking, Mike Pence would be worse than Donald Trump, because Mike Pence, he says some really, really horrible things. It's not funny anymore because it's sad. It's sad that we're in this situation. It's sad that this is your president, and it's sad that people have now become so comfortable in their bigotry that they feel like it's just okay to spread their hate out into the world. That's unfortunate, but all that we can do is educate ourselves, use whatever platform we have to educate others, and continue to spread love and positivity. Because in times like this, where the head of our United States is doing the most that he can to divide us, what will keep us together is a thread of humanity, and that will only be held together through acts of kindness, love, and compassion. So, that's all I'm gonna say on this topic today. In case you didn't get it the first time, we shall overcome.
Yeah, I ain't living in fear with my people who are Muslims, Mexican, and queer, and we ain't gonna let you fuck up 4 years. Ain't gonna let you fuck up 4 years.